was never really good playing role of the puppet. Too busy being me, to be concerned with perception of the public. Everyone is buzzing, but everybody ain't thinking about a budget. I want ownership in something.
It was introduced in 2014's Uncanny X-Men #23 by Brian Michael Bendis and Chris Anker. The most extreme mutant power source ever recorded by Cerebro, Matthew was branded more than an Omega-level mutant by the Beast, aka mutant genius Hank McCoy. Matthew manifested complete control over reality, with the ability to transform matter, resistance to all other mutant powers, and the ability to bring himself back from death. Malloy's powers were so powerful that on sensing his abilities as a child, Professor X placed a telepathic block in his mind to stop him realizing he had powers, something which sadly failed once Xavier was dead. Ultimately, he was only defeated when the time-traveling mutant Temp prevented Matthew Malloy's parents from ever getting together, removing his birth from the timeline. Up until Malloy manifested his power, the X-Men didn't know that a mutant of his scale could even exist. Indeed, when the Omega-level mutant Exodus attempted to telepathically attack Malloy, he was instantly killed. Malloy would seem to qualify as a beyond Omega-level mutant by every definition. He is both more powerful than known Omegas by many orders of magnitude, and there is no upper limit to his reality manipulation powers.
The son of Reed Richards' Mr. Fantastic and Susan Storm's Invisible Woman, Franklin Richards, aka Powerhouse, is perhaps Marvel's most powerful hero. His genes changed by his parents' exposure to cosmic radiation. Franklin is another reality manipulator and is capable of creating entire new universes from his imagination. In fact, Powerhouse created the Marvel Universe as it currently exists, following the original's destruction in 2015's Secret Wars event. Franklin was described as beyond Omega classification by the Mad Celestials in FF 13 from Jonathan Hickman and Juan Bobillo, and was also labeled the most powerful mutant ever born by Galactus in the history of the Marvel Universe #3 by Mark Waid and Javier Rodriguez. Comics, including the history of the Marvel Universe and Immortal Hulk, have revealed that Franklin is destined to survive the end of Marvel's current multiverse and play a part in creating the next, surviving as part of the cosmic structure in the same way that Galactus survived the prior version of the multiverse. Indeed, it's possible that the Fantastic Four's entire history was predestined in order to create Franklin and allow him to play his part in the cosmos. While Franklin was long considered Marvel's most powerful mutant, that changed in 2020's Fantastic Four #26, Dan Slott and R.B. Silva. There, Charles Xavier revealed that, due to his desire to have an identity outside his superhero family, Franklin has subconsciously altered his own DNA, giving himself an X gene, and was not considered a true mutant. To drill home his new status quo, Franklin lost his powers entirely shortly after. The change was controversial among fans and may not be true much longer. 2024's Fantastic Four #18, Ryan North and Carlos Gomez, revealed that Franklin never lost his powers and actually locked them away so he could have a normal childhood. Given his goal and his tampering with his own genetics, as well as Galactus calling him a mutant later in life, it wouldn't be surprising for Marvel to reveal that Franklin is a mutant after all.
After years of teasing, Ed Brubaker and Trevor Hairsine's X-Men, Deadly Genesis #1 finally revealed the existence of a third Summers brother, the long-lost sibling of X-Men's Cyclops and Havoc. Indeed, Vulcan was part of a secret mutant team assembled by Charles Xavier before the second Genesis team that introduced Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and more. After their mission went disastrously wrong and they were presumed dead, Xavier wiped all memory of them from his other students, only for Vulcan to return years later with a vengeance. Vulcan was labeled as past Omega level throughout Deadly Genesis by both Professor Xavier and Rachel Summers, his niece, and Cyclops' time-traveling daughter. Vulcan is naturally an Omega-level energy manipulator, according to the Krakoan definition of the term. There's no form of energy Vulcan can't control and wield as a weapon, from controlling the powers of others to removing the electrical energy from their brains to stop them being able to think or move. Vulcan is a galactic-level operator, and when he fought the Inhuman leader Black Bolt, the two tore a hole in reality itself. While Vulcan remains one of X-Men's most powerful figures, he is no longer considered beyond Omega in today's comics. At the time when he was labeled such by Xavier and Rachel Summers, he was fused with the former members of his ill-fated team and powered up by a burst of mutant energy. Since being separated from his former teammates, Vulcan has been downgraded to Omega level. However, if he were to absorb similar mutant energy again, he would likely regain his Beyond Omega status. Guaranteed to be the most controversial entry on this list, the Beyonder is one of Marvel's most powerful and most mysterious entities. In Marvel lore, Beyonders, aka the Omegas, were created by the Celestials and exist outside the structure of the multiverse, with different factions viewing reality either as a structure to be maintained or a playground for their own godlike young. While Beyonders haven't officially been branded beyond Omega level in mutant terminology, their power level unquestionably puts them on the same level or higher than Matthew Malloy or Vulcan. The real debate is whether they can be counted as mutants. As a species, the Beyonder's origin is firmly part of the cosmic ecosystem. However, the specific being known as the Beyonder has claimed a far more specific origin. In New Avengers Illuminati No. 3, by Brian Michael Bendis and Jim Cheung, Marvel's secret cabal of heroes, including Charles Xavier and Black Bolt, encounter the reality-warping Beyonder, who has created his own celestial playground, peopled by copies of Marvel's heroes and villains. After scanning the Beyonder's mind, the Illuminati make a haunting discovery. The Beyonder is a mutant, inhuman hybrid who evolved into a cosmic being upon being exposed to the alien Terrigen mists. It's possible the Beyonder fooled Charles Xavier, and most fans have dismissed this revelation as a proposed story that didn't go anywhere. But when it comes to beings of the Beyonder's level, causality isn't necessarily linear. It's possible that this specific Beyonder is somehow an ascended mutant, or even that the Beyonder caused himself to be born on Earth as a mutant to experience mortal life. An obsession he's explored in many different ways, including becoming Peter Parker's housemate. The most powerful mutant in Marvel canon, Nate Gray, is the alt-universe son of Cyclops. Even for a reality manipulator, Nate is incredibly powerful, boasting mastery of psionic power, matter control, and the astral plane. Nate even enhanced these abilities with the celestial life seed, which allowed him to create entirely new realities. Fans witnessed this power level in Uncanny X-Men No. 4 by Matthew Rosenberg, Kelly Thompson, Ed Brisson, and Perry Perez, where the Omega-level mutant Legion describes him as very, very powerful. Omega level. More than. Is there something above that yet? If there is, he's it. Created in the iconic Age of Apocalypse reality, Nate was the result of genetic tampering by Mr. Sinister, who managed to unlock his absolute mutant potential, like Matthew Malloy. X-Man is so powerful that even his subconscious desires have the potential to warp reality. However, he is far more experienced in using his powers. X-Man is generally considered a hero and has utopian aims for the world. However, he can also be dangerously controlling, as seen in the Age of X-Man event, where he kidnapped all mutants to live in his bespoke reality. A reality rewriting mutant, the most powerful mutant outside X-Men canon, Miranda was introduced in Max Bemis and Michael Walsh's X-Men, Worst X-Man Ever. This story takes place in an alternate reality, but actually offers perhaps the best definition of what Beyond Omega means. In the story, the mutant teen Miranda discovers she's able to edit reality, making changes that, once finalized by her powers, become how the timeline has always been. In the story, Miranda reveals that she's the reason Marvel's heroes seemingly don't age, explaining she also made changes to reality, like bringing back Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier and introducing Nick Fury Jr. to replace his father. After her powers are discovered, Beast invents the term Omicron mutant on the spot, denoting a once-in-a-lifetime mutant power which is able to fundamentally reorder reality. She literally has the ability to edit reality and finalize it.
Hey, it's your boy Jim CB, man, and we are back to another video for the channel. And this time we're tapping back into comic book realm of X-Men 97. Check it out. Every X-Men fan ever, if you've ever been a fan of X-Men, you already know that it's a big deal when, Marvel, the X-Men team, whoever writing the X books, they confirm a new level of Omega level mutant, or beyond Omega level, or any like just crazy OP mutant, right? So we just gonna get into that today, man. We just gonna get into it. I'm gonna chop this up with some of my commentary and some of the AI, with the AI voice, man. We're really gonna try to get it popping and do some different things with the channel. I already got some things working when it comes to the X-Men 97 Origins series, man. But we gotta tap into this, man. Got to. It's all about power and power classification, and how the mutant society is really built. So we just gonna tap into that. So the first mutant we gonna really get into was Matthew Malloy. This guy was nuts as far as power level, and it's so crazy that this is a tragic mutant character. Like, my man was so OP that they had to really erase dude from the timeline, bro. Like, just think about that. You erased a mutant from a timeline, Jack.